My name is Maria, and I'd like to welcome you to the 2021 NAMI Walks event. I'm honored to be a part of this today, the United Day of Hope, and part of working to end the stigma and to better the lives of those with mental health issues. So today I've been asked to provide you with a short 15-minute yoga practice. And I'm hoping that this practice is available to all of you, no matter what your physical abilities are. You can do most of this practice either seated on the ground or sitting in a chair. So I invite you to find a comfortable seated position in whatever place is comfortable for you. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit in a cross-legged position. You can sit up on a pillow or a block, if that helps you and makes you more comfortable. And while you're doing that, just a really short introduction to the practice of yoga. The word yoga itself is a Sanskrit word, which is an ancient Indian language. And the word itself means to unite or to yoke. So in this practice today, we're going to be uniting breath with movement. The practice of yoga is a spiritual discipline thousands of years old that originated in India, and part of the practice is breath combined with movement. So we're going to work on that today. I invite you to just be gentle with your body, listen to your body, take what you need, leave the rest behind, and enjoy the journey. So if you're in your comfortable seated position, I ask for you to close your eyes. Just become aware of your surroundings. Notice without judgment what you hear around you right now. If you're outside, can you feel the wind? How are you feeling in your body today? Are you feeling a little bit tight? Are you feeling loose? Are you feeling grounded? Are you feeling a little bit flighty? Just noticing without judgment. Noticing that gravity is holding you down. Sitting up tall here. Tucking the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Extending through the crown of the head so the spine is long. Let's bring the shoulders up towards the ears very gently, and then very gently letting the shoulders fall into a relaxed position. Hands can be resting on your thighs. Palms up or palms down. Just breathing. I'm going to start today with a decompression breath, which is a wonderful method of breathing that really can help you reduce stress and just also decompress the spine, just kind of open up the rib cage. So when you're ready, eyes can remain closed or open. Let's take an inhale, and as we inhale, let's expand the belly and expand the rib cage, broadening the shoulders, lengthening the back of the neck on the inhale. And then let the exhale be an expansive exhale. So on the exhale, see if you can keep the rib cage full. Again, expanding, broadening the shoulders and extending through the crown of the head on the exhale. So think about filling up a balloon on the exhale. I think a lot of times we think about on the exhale just kind of folding in and punching in. And think just the opposite this time. Think about expanding and lengthening on the exhale. So once again, inhaling, expanding the belly, expanding the rib cage, growing tall in the spine. And on the exhale, keeping the rib cage full, growing a little bit taller, lengthening the back of the neck. You can breathe through the nose, but if not, feel free to breathe through the mouth. Breathing through the nose just makes your breath a little bit more present and helps you just be more aware of your breath and stay in the moment. So let's do a couple more rounds of decompression breath. Inhaling, exhaling, expanding that balloon inside of your rib cage. Inhaling, exhaling, One more time, inhaling. Exhaling, make this a really expansive exhale, broadening through the shoulders, extending through the crown of the head, keeping the rib cage full. Beautiful. Wonderful. Then feel free to open the eyes here. Now we're going to link breath with movement. So let's take our arms to our side, and you can do this also if you're sitting in a chair. On an inhale, let's bring the arms up overhead. Just keep the arms up overhead here for a moment, and let's just play with this a little bit. See if your fingers are like a little bit wiggly. See if you can extend your fingers towards the sky. So fingers are engaged. Let's once again go ahead and bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then gently drop them down. So we have relaxed shoulders, but we have engaged arms all the way out to the fingertips. A couple breaths here. Working that decompression breath again. One more time. Keeping the shoulders down. Good. Now, one more inhale. And then on an exhale, we're going to drop the left hand. I'm going to mirror you, so I'm dropping my right hand, but you're going to drop your left hand down to the ground or down to the side of your chair. And exhale, and then on an inhale, raising that right arm up to the sky, and then over to the left. And then maybe sitting down on that left glute a little bit more. So we're not lifting up on the hips. Hips are staying grounded. We're getting a nice stretch in that side body. So inhaling, maybe expanding that arm up overhead a little bit more. And then on an exhale, maybe drawing a little bit over to the side. Good. Breathing here. Neck can stay neutral. You can look up or you can look down, whatever's comfortable for your neck. One more breath here. Good. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift that left arm up off the ground, and we're going to come over to the other side. So your right hand is on the ground, left arm is overhead. Inhaling, expanding that left arm overhead, and then on an exhale, maybe drawing a little bit over to the side here. And again, down, look forward or look up, whatever's comfortable for you. Both hips are firmly grounded. Breathing. Good. One more breath here. Maybe opening up to the sky just a little bit. Good. And then on an inhale, pressing that right hand down, raising both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come together, tracing through the midline of the body and landing at heart center. So we have our hands at heart center here. Let's just work on pressing our hands together and see if as you press your hands together, you can expand your shoulders out. And also see if you can tuck your chin and lengthen the back of your neck. And a couple breaths here. Pressing all those fingers together. Good. Now, drawing the hands to your side, inhaling, arms up. Exhale again, hands together slowly through the center of the body, landing at heart center. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, hands together through the center of the body. One more time, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, hands together through heart center. And then hands just resting on your thighs, palms up or down. Closing the eyes once again, just coming back into your breath. Noticing your surroundings. Noticing how your body feels without judgment. Good. Now we're going to come into hands and knees. If you don't wish to come to the ground, you can stay seated in your chair and you can work. We're going to work on a cat-cow pose. If you're seated in your chair, you can work on it just seated in your chair. It's going to look like this. But if you're coming down to the ground, you're going to come into your hands and knees in what we call a tabletop pose. Feet are tucked under, so toes are tucked under. And we're going to work on cat and on a cow. So if you think of a Halloween cat where they kind of tilt their middle body or their middle spine up towards the ceiling, tucking the pelvis and lowering the head. So that's the cat. And in the cow, we're going to tilt the pelvis under, belly comes down, and then we gently draw the head up or forward. And keep the looking down if that's not feeling good on your neck to look up. So this is what cow looks like, and this is what cat looks like. If you're seated in a chair, it'll basically just look the same. Cat, cow. So it's just this wonderful, wonderful movement throughout all 24 vertebrae of the spine. Okay? So we're going to link that with breath and movement. So when you're ready, we're going to start with a cow pose on an inhale. So inhaling into cow pose, and then exhaling, initiating that movement from the base of the spine, slowly, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, tucking the pelvis down, middle spine comes up towards the sky and looking down or forward. Inhaling, tucking the pelvis under, hips come up towards the sky, and then gently one vertebrae at a time coming into cow pose. Exhaling back into cat pose. And then at your own pace, you can make this a little more of a brisk movement if you'd like. I kind of like just keeping it nice and slow and just seeing if I can feel one vertebrae at a time as I come up and down through cat and cow. Exhaling. Head down. Head up. Good. One more time. Good. Wonderful work. Now, I'd like for you to come into standing. So we're in a standing position. This position in Sanskrit is called Tadasana, or mountain pose. So we're just standing tall like a mountain here. So let's bring our feet about hip distance apart. So about a foot, maybe a foot and a half apart. Pressing down into the feet, pressing down into the heels. So standing evenly on all corners of your feet, toes and heels. A little bit of bend in the knees to protect the lower back. Once again, shoulders are not up towards the ears. Shoulders are drawing down and out. Arms are at your side. Chin is tucked so that you can lengthen the back of the neck. Just closing the eyes here. Maybe moving back and forth on your feet. Maybe pressing into your big toes. Pressing into your little pinky toe. Pressing into your heel. Just noticing if you're standing where on your feet you're standing. Some people tend to stand on the outside of their feet or the inside of their feet. Breathing here, coming into that decompression breath again. So inhaling, exhale, inhaling, exhaling, filling up underneath in your rib cage. Good. Now, we're going to also come into those half-sun salutations that we were working on when we were seated. So on an inhale, bringing the arms up overhead, shoulders stay down. Exhale, hands together at heart center. One more time, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Now we're going to add on chair pose. To me, this is one of the most beneficial poses in yoga practice, and it's as if you're kind of sitting into a chair. What we're going to do is hinge the hips. So pretend you've got a drawer that you need to close with your glutes. So you're sitting back so that you're closing that drawer, extending that lumbar spine. So extending the hips back, and you're just sitting back in the chair, but see if you can keep your knees stacked right over your ankle. So this is a wonderful way to protect the lower back. If you have to bend over, let's say you have to bend over to pick something up, instead of curving your spine under and leaning forward, tilt back. Tilt that hip back, stick that booty out as if you're closing a drawer. See if you can keep your knees stacked over the ankle and then bend over. This is everything as far as protecting your lower back and keeping that lower back from going out. Now, when you're first starting and working on it, you may not be able to go very far, so just tilt back, maybe just a little inch, and then sit back in that chair. Good. holding that for a little bit, pressing the feet down, and then energetically pressing the feet towards each other. When you do that, you can feel the inside of the legs firing up. So sitting back in that chair, maybe hands on the thighs, maybe the hands can come together, pressing in. Good. Breathing. Coming up. This is wonderful work for you to practice. Strengthening the adductors, the inner sides of the leg, tilting that pelvis back and sitting back. And just holding that. Or you can come up and down and work on coming up and down, building the muscles in the legs to help protect that lower back. Good. So, on an inhale, let's come into that chair and bring our arms up. Inhaling. Good. Then on an exhale, hands together at heart center, keeping those knees bent, and then coming all the way down into a forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling, folding forward. Good. And then inhaling, pressing down into the feet to rise up again. Good. Hands together at heart center. Wonderful work. Thank you so much. I'm going to become seated just because I want to thank you. My time is up here. I hope you have enjoyed and benefited from the breath work and the posture and linking breath with posture. And I hope that you can take these tools with you out into your day, into the future, and use them when you're feeling a little bit stressed and you need to just calm your body, become centered, become grounded. So in yoga, at the end of the practice, we bring our hands together when we bow into ourselves, basically just honoring ourselves for coming to a practice that is so beneficial for our heart, minds, and body, and honoring the lineage of yoga teachers that have passed on this practice. And we bow to each other and say the word namaste, which means, may the light of my heart shine upon and honor the light of your heart. Namaste.